Okay, so righty. Okay, so that stays here. This is you. Greetings, 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 dear Libra. This is you. This is Tarot Illumination with your mini general report, kind of like a spiritual overview for what we call July 2018. We live in this thing, a continuum we call time. So, before we get into the cards, this is a really critical month for a lot of people, and August too, because of the eclipses, all right? And it's a transitional section too, because I'll just show you. Let's just do it really quickly here. So mark your calendars, okay, Libra? June 27th, coming right at the tippy end of June into July, you've got the Cancer Capricorn full moon, okay? 2 weeks later, bam-o, here we are, July 12th, the first eclipse. It's the Cancer Sun, Cancer Moon eclipse. So this is marking, this is a very loud, oh, I'll show you, we'll go here in a second. Just mark your calendar. June 27th, July 12th. Next eclipse, July 27th. This is the Leo Aquarius eclipse. These are the last of the Leo Aquarius eclipses, okay? Because next year we move into the Cancer Capricorn eclipses. The North Node moves into Cancer. So we're getting glimpses now. We got to get our acts together now to get ready for 2019. So the next one over here is another one. We're going off chart right now. We're going to the new moon, August 11th. Sun in Leo, moon in Leo. So this is a very broad reading, all right? Just with letting you know. Those are the dates. Let's do a pictorial rendition over here. Please don't laugh. These are my little astro doodles, and they look kind of scrappy. There's enough sense here that I can help you at least a little bit. I try. Now we're talking about, I focus heavily on lunar cycles because I have to, and because they're very pertinent. And we're dealing with the eclipses anyway, and the North Node anyway, so we might as well just get straight to it. Starting over here, look at this as a clock, okay? Starting over here, June 27th. This is the precursor to the first few weeks of July. This is the full moon, moon in Capricorn, sun in Cancer. Okay, right here. So think of this, we're going to go through several, well, let me get on with it. Hold on. So this, you might be feeling deep rumblings and shakeups going on in your home, your family, your place where you sleep. You might not be able to put words to it at the moment, what exactly it might be, but it's definitely going to be affecting you, and you're going to have a much clearer awareness 2 weeks later here at the Cancer new moon eclipse, July 12th, okay? Cancer sun, Cancer moon in alignment up here in your 10th house of career, destiny, your place in the world. Very, very public, very, very open. So what is happening down here in your deep home family life is going to become very exposed up here in your public life. And whatever happens here is going to have an impact here. Whatever happens here is going to have an impact on your home. Okay, your home and family. And also with the eclipses, it's the end of one old way and it's the beginning of new ways, and there's no going back. The eclipses are like gateways. They're like triggers to evolution, okay? So next 2 weeks later, oh my gosh, another eclipse. Leo sun, Aquarius moon, okay? Right over here, July 27th in your 5th and 11th house. So something to do with love, true love, relationships, romance, also creativity, creative self-expression. This is not a love and relationship spread. You need to go to the love and relationship playlist for that. But this is happening in your 5th house. And the Leo Aquarius energy is basically pretty harmonious for you, Libra. So this might be kind of fun, exciting, liberating, very refreshing, very, very almost maybe shocking and surprising because of the Aquarius energies going on here. And then 2 weeks later, whatever came to like this culmination in your love life, like these awakenings of what's actually happening in your romance, your creative self-expression, what's that going to look like in your home, in your surroundings, in your community, in your career around you? There's a lot of big shifts and changes happening here, from the very gut levels of you to the very public open levels of you. Your career, your destiny, your people, your community out here, your dreams, your wishes, your rewards for whatever you do down here at the home level and the in love and relationship here. So please expect a lot of radical shifts and changes through July and going into August. Now these are eclipses, so it's going to have a long-term ripple effect for months afterwards. But the real first step of clarity is going to happen from the middle of September onwards. I'm just giving you a heads up. This is not highlighted, but it is the Leo new moon eclipse. I just mentioned that earlier, in August 11th. So you've got plenty of time. Again, think of this as a clock. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. 2 weeks later, the eclipse. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. 2 weeks later, the eclipse. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. 2 weeks later, the eclipse. We're talking about a 6-week cycle here, okay? Did I get that right? 2, 4, 6. Yeah, okay. Anyway, we're not predicting the future here. I'm just giving you dates and information. You have to make your decisions, all right? Sorry, that took quite a long time before we got to the spreads, but it is a critical month. It's a very important month. You, Libra, might come through this in a way that others can't, but it's mixed up because the Cancer-Capricorn axes are going to be very challenging for you, okay? Whereas the Leo-Aquarius axes would have been very supportive and fun and nurturing for you. So it's kind of a mixed blessing in a way, a mixed things going on for you. Cards are well shuffled in advance. I think you already know that. No jumpers, no flyers, no oracles, no reversals. We're just going to use the plain old Rider Waite, and that's just how it is for now. And we're going to use the Tarot Illumination Beating Heart Spread. We're going to go to the very, very core of you, and we're going to find out what's going on. And the whole idea is to bring you, your conscious 3D, three-dimensional Libra, as closely into alignment with heart energy as possible. The closer it is, the better your life. The farther it is, the farther out of alignment, the worse things get. So that's why I like to use this spread. I'm not trying to predict your future or tell you that there's a rich, tall man with a crown, or a rich, or a scary person with a pitchfork coming at you. I don't do that. So we're just going to keep it very esoteric. Okay, all right. So cards are shuffled. I just need to keep going till I feel good. Bring your team in, okay? Tarot Illumination works as a team, angels and interns. Bring yours in too. Make it a group effort. Also, watch for your sun, moon, and rising, if there are, especially, well, if they are different, okay? So you get a fuller perspective and understanding in case this doesn't make much sense. Maybe you're much more lunar dominant. Maybe you're much more dominant on the ascendant. Who knows? Okay, here we go. This is core heart energy. The heart needs what it needs, wants what it wants, and knows what it needs and wants. And it's hoping and praying that you understand that and recognize that. I am loving you. Are you loving me? I need you to love me. Thank you very much. Please pay attention. So over here, what are you bringing in with you? Think of this as legacy energy. Maybe you've really done well with these Leo Aquarius eclipses and have come into like higher levels of evolution, kind of pleased with yourself. But now you might be starting to notice with the Cancer Capricorn energy starting to come in here, becoming noticeable here in July, that there are some deep rumblings going on that are signaling, okay, better get ready for 2019, because the 2019 Cancer Capricorn eclipses are going to be potentially very challenging for you, Libra. Okay, just letting you know. Okay, what about the present? Okay, here is the ever-present now, the eternal now, where a lot of us don't like to be, because it means we have to be grounded, present, conscious, and here. Okay, it's much easier to rest on our laurels, rest on the status quo, rest on what we believe is, and then use that as the template for the so-called future. In other words, doing anything and everything to avoid being present, because sometimes it's uncomfortable. In other words, you're giving yourself permission to live on autopilot and operate through your limbic system, where you're abdicating your amazing gift to make decisions. So over here, when you are present, when you are conscious, you can access the healing power of your decisions, and in that way make conscious decisions to deliberately love thyself at the very, very core, instead of living on autopilot. So how do you do this effectively? Okay, once you understand there is a formula here, and in so doing, create consequences. Okay. Now, if you're one of those people and you outsource all your power, your happiness, your expectations to anything and everyone that's not you. And when things go wrong, you blame them. And when things go right, you take the credits. That's a kind of like a lower frequency way of operating. When you operate this way, you stay as conscious and present as you can. You access your own decisions, and you make deliberate decisions to love thyself first. Then what happens? You nourish yourself. That's the best thing that you can do for the planet and yourself and your loved ones. This aura grows from here, brighter and more beautiful, and that affects the aura out here. You'll see in a moment. So what happens when you mess up and you become derelict, you deny yourself, you abdicate? What does that look like? And the reciprocal energy, what does it look like when you are in the zone and when you do respect yourself and you do deliberately tap into your power and make loving decisions for you? What does that look like? It's the same energy. One is the reciprocal of the other. Over here, prospects and momentum. So it's like, think of this as a beat, as a pulse. Do-doom, do-doom, do-doom. And this creates an aura. Your body, your heart, you create an aura. This has an aura. This is the heart aura here. And this radiates out here, okay? And that radiates way out there. But it starts from here. And it works much better when you are in alignment here, okay? So let's see what's going on. And think of this as weather, okay? It's out there. It needs to be understood. And we make the best of it. So you have the star. My feeling is that you're really lucky right now, extremely lucky right now, because in some ways fate is smiling on you. It's almost like, as harsh as I might have been with my words just now, as Tarot Lumination, your reader, trying to give you a serious heads up about the Cancer Capricorn stuff, it's almost like this card is saying, don't worry, Libra. He's just getting carried away with himself. I am here to guide you. I am here to protect you. Dear Libra, you are guided. You are protected. All you have to do is look up. All you have to do is ask. And your angels are there for you. All you have to do is understand that there is something much bigger beyond you, yourself. And that energy is there for you. That is the healing power of love. And that you would feel that as divine guidance. You would feel that as synchronicity. You would feel that as signs, signals, impressions, awareness that there's things going on that are much bigger than you, Libra, and you are on a journey, okay? This beating heart, the journey of the heart here, okay? So this is very encouraging. It could also indicate that you need to be very, very aware that it's up to you to ask for divine guidance, okay? Ask for protection. You can't, when you take this for granted, that's almost like slovenliness. It's almost like insulting your angels. It's like kind of being cocky and arrogant. Instead, it's very important to understand that they are very valuable to you. They're like a gift. And please be aware and don't take that for granted. What is your heart saying? Okay. To me, it feels like with the Hierophant here, with the star there are things that are happening to you, Libra, in ways that are kind of above and beyond you, like beyond your core levels of understanding, where the concept of fate might be very prominent in your consciousness right now. You might be thinking, wow, there is some serious heavy-duty stuff going on. I wonder what it is. Maybe that Tarot Lumination thing is kind of on it after all. Wow. And you might have to look at yourself here, and your heart is saying, to me, it almost feels like the heart at the very, very core of you is saying, we want order. We want peace. We want to bring life to a higher degree of order, a higher level of understanding that is indisputable. It isn't subject to human degradation or perversion or manipulation. This is universal order, like the commandments. The heart is saying, I want to be fully aligned, not just partially aligned. I want full alignment, as though I was a brand new computer that just had been completely refurbished and rebooted, starting from scratch again, a whole new code. And I think this is going to be very much to do with transcending, moving from these parts of your life, the home and the family and your existing romance and love life, and begin to see radical shifts and changes into career and your community at large, where these might be very contradictory. things may fall, well, by definition, things are going to fall away and new things are going to begin. And my feeling here is that this is very much to do with the new beginning of a new code of life, a new pattern, a new sense of mission, purpose, and direction, which possibly didn't even exist before in your awareness, but it's happening right now. And that's what the heart needs and wants. And what it wants is for you, Libra, to come in alignment and get on board with it, like become part of this thing. What are you bringing in with you? Okay, wow, we got a major arcana. Okay, Libra. So with the justice here, to me, it's almost like in absolute precision, everything is exactly as it should be because it can't be any other way. Whatever is going on with you in July here, with these tumultuous eclipses and feeding into August, and then the ripple effects going into September until things settle and you finally get a real glimpse of what's going on, this could feel like you don't have any control of what's happening here. So as much as you might be in alignment because you're a Libra and the Leo Aquarius energies are very harmonious with you, that's great. The thing is, if you don't know how to ride these waves, it would feel very, very fated. But it's good. It looks good. All I'm suggesting is that you might be living through this in a way where you feel like you're very fated. Like if whatever bad happens over here with the eclipses, whatever's being eclipsed out of your life that is no longer part of your life in terms of love, romance, creative self-expression, home and family, so be it. Okay? There's no point in taking it personally or saying it's bad or good. It's just this is how it is. Same thing when the new senses of destiny and career, mission and purpose in life might be amplified more and more, then it like in the more like glorious way over here, like you become more and more shiny, but in ways that you could never have anticipated. And it's all that's the point. We're living through this continuum and it will unfold in front of you. And it's the whole idea here is just like having to accept it and live through it as being guided and protected. Okay? Not taking it personally. In other words, whatever feels like it was unjust and undeserved, you deserved it. Whatever you feel was just and deserved, you deserved it. Either way, you get what you deserve. So there's no point in being pissed off and angry of whatever is getting eclipsed out of your life and your world, and upset at the upheavals and the changes of where your life seems to be heading. Everything is exactly as it should be because it can't be any other way. And we're talking about a complete reboot here and a complete rewriting of the codes of your life. Okay, what about the now? Phew, let's come down to earth a little bit with the little Three of Pentacles here. To me, this is an indication that you're doing very well at who you are and what you do in the three-dimensional plane. In other words, you're doing whatever you're doing, Libra, you're doing it well, you're doing it right. No, you don't have to explain it. Nobody else, people don't necessarily understand it, what is happening, but they can tell, they can feel it in your aura that you're on path. You're doing the right thing, being very, very gracious, allowing these events and energies that are way bigger than us to lift you and move you through life and help you to evolve rather than resisting it. And in so doing, what happens in the present, you become identified as a work in progress, like part of humanity, where it's like, wow, Libra, you're like one of us. You are evolving and growing. We don't understand what we're all going through, but we understand that you're doing a great job of your own evolution. And then in turn, that gets reflected back to the others, where it's evident to the others that you appreciate them and understand them in their own evolution. And it's like you're granting them and giving them the permission, the encouragement, the material support, the emotional support, the evidence of love that they need to evolve and grow, just like you need that to evolve and grow. Okay, so that's very nutritious. I see that as really wholesome and good. Well done, Libra. So it is in the now where you understand that you are a work in progress and everyone else is a work in progress too, and not to take any of these radical upheavals and shifts and changes personally. It gives you a lot of freedom to move around, for you to be you and grant others their desire and wish to be themselves. and in so doing get the same in reverse. They grant you, good wishes for you to evolve and grow as well. So it is in this mindset where you can access the healing power of your decisions. With the Seven of Swords here, my feeling is to be extremely careful, because if you are even remotely aware of your good fortune, of having maximized and done so well for yourself, taking full advantage of the Leo Aquarius eclipses recently, for the last year or so, what this is saying, my feeling is, don't take that for advantage. Don't take that as a given, like, ha, 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 look at me now. It's very important when you're making the decisions to be very judicious, very, very careful, very, very stealthy in how you behave. Like, actions speak louder than words. It's very important that, like, if you've got secrets that can affect others, or others have secrets that can affect you, this needs to be taken into account in your life going forward. It's almost like, be extremely aware of what I think of as psychological, spiritual, emotional black ice going through this period, because as much, especially if you feel this is very, very fated, where you don't have any say in things, it would be very easy if your ego is bruised. Let's say your ego just gets momentarily bruised by whatever is being eclipsed out of your life, and the awkwardness of whatever is being eclipsed into your life, and you do take it personally. It could be very easy to lash out, like verbally, mentally, spiritually, in such a way that actually it doesn't serve you or anybody. So to me, it feels like you have to be very careful. Like, if you think you're in control of all of this, if you think you are the boss and the master of all of this, be very, very careful, because this just does what it does, and it's up to us to get in alignment with this. Whereas if you think like you are the boss and the master of the universe, and you write the codes of the universe and everybody has to comply, there's a guaranteed assurance that you will come unglued and you will skid off like on black ice. You've probably seen those videos, let's go on vacation. Oh, I'm going to go to the 7-Eleven or something. I'm going to pick up some pizzas, everybody. I'll be back later. Oh, it's snowing. It's cold. It's okay. Cool. I'll be back. Oh, I'm so cool. I can drive. I'm a really awesome person. But whoa, 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 my God. Crash. That's the kind of energy I'm talking about here. Okay, so just be very, very careful with your decision-making processes, because your heart wants to be loved and served in a way that works, okay? There's no point in trying to fool yourself or fool others. We have to do what is right here. So how would you do that so you don't skid out on the black ice, you don't become vulnerable to all the radical shifts and upheavals of these eclipses? You act patiently, judiciously, and according to a higher code, patiently, and then make your decisions very cautiously. Okay, it's work. Okay, but think of it as an investment. Okay, think of this as a long-term investment. You're going to have to change anyway. Change is going to be imposed on you, and the more you resist change, the more the change will put the pressure on you. So you might as well adapt. My feeling here is to take full stock of everything that's happening around you. The upheavals, just take it for granted, like, okay, well, that's what's upheaving. And then, okay, this is what is unfolding with the eclipses. Okay, thank you very much. Look at it in very, very practical terms. Don't take it personally. Don't allow any kind of sense of, I got this, man, to cloud your sense of judgment and order here. Remember that everything is happening almost accordingly to divine guidance, divine ordinance. So you might as well take advantage of it and invest accordingly. Do the work. If that means having to slow down in your decision-making processes, and look at the future in terms of love is as love does. Okay, what exactly am I doing now in order that does not undermine myself or other people, and instead is acting more like an investment Love is as love does. So it's very easy for mind games here to trick ourselves and fool ourselves, where like all the efforts that you put in to being all the good stuff where you are now could easily be jeopardized by one foolish decision, one careless word, careless words, careless attitudes, careless behaviors, okay, could easily undermine all the goodness here. So it's like, be extremely careful. How do you do that? You think in very simple three-dimensional terms, like, what is the most loving thing to do right now for me? And then do that. And then repeat that. And then repeat. What is the most loving thing I can do right now for myself and my loved ones? Okay. Typically, that means going out of your way. Love is as love does. It is work. Love is work. Love in action typically means work. It means going out of your way, extending yourself above and beyond your existing comforts and status quo and assumptions and beliefs and, you know, just like, I guess I said it, status quo. Yeah. Going above and beyond that, facing into the unknown, and then making decisions from there. That can be very uncomfortable for people, but that is where love is as love does. That's where love comes into action, the healing power of love in action, when it's evidential. In other words, you went out of your way for somebody. You didn't have to, but you did, because you know you're investing. You're planting seeds of love. And then you do that again, and you do that again, primarily with yourself first. And that can mean investing in yourself, working to improve yourself, invest in yourself, because that's the best thing you can do. But doing that in very, very wholesome, just, honest, patient ways that play to your strengths. And in so doing, it's like inspires others as well, okay? So when you do this, when you function this way, understanding how precarious things are for you right now, even with the Leo Aquarius things are actually very precarious. It really helps to know that and understand it up ahead of time, and then plan accordingly. Three-dimensional solid plans to go in the future. So think of that as a formula. Now, if you just outsource all this and just say, well, my whole life is just one big fated thing, I don't have any say, then this will feel like fate. But if you become an active participant, understand how good things are and how vulnerable you are simultaneously, then that puts you in a much stronger position to be happy, because you own the happiness at that point. So you're generating consequences instead of outsourcing your happiness to everyone and everything else. Okay, so this brings you into your own strength more than ever before. Now, it does require kind of what might feel very like, not demeaning, but what's the word I'm trying to use here? It would require like submitting, okay? The concept, what happens is you generate more strength by surrender, okay? By surrendering to the greater good, and understanding that this is all working for you, all of it. No, even with the stressful alignments here and the stressful alignment coming up in 2019, this is all working for you, and it's up to you to understand that and ride with it in very practical terms. And so to do that, it can often mean having to sublimate ourselves, surrender ourselves to, the greater good, so to speak. And that, when people, the thing about the word surrender, the word sublimate, is that when the ego feels that energy in your body, it triggers intense fear. It triggers the fear of, oh my God, I'm a loser. Oh my God, someone else has got the better of me. I've lost everything I've worked for. I've lost my self-esteem. I've lost my self-respect. I look like an idiot compared to others. No, that's not acceptable, because you're looking at it from a totally 3D egoic sense. However, with the strength card here, my feeling is that once you kind of mature above and around that, you realize like the process of surrender is incredibly liberating for you and allows you to grow even further. The question is, what is that? How do you define that? What is it that you're going to surrender? To what are you going to sublimate yourself for higher purposes? Okay, let's have a look. So what if you mess up on this? What if you literally almost like take your eyes off the road for just a few moments and you end up in a ditch? What does that look like? Okay. Basically, you end up divorcing yourself from yourself. You end up realizing, oh my God, I just screwed myself. And why didn't I listen? Duh. On the other hand, when you see this as a formula, and in some ways a very challenging formula, also, well, I don't want to go too deep into the astrology. If you want to, you can get into it. You can come to Tarot Illumination. We'll go from there. But for the time being, what I'm sensing here is that once you realize how precarious things are and how important it is to be acutely aware of your decision-making process so that you don't get into trouble and you don't bring trouble to others, and you act accordingly, in other words, a very, very sharp focus, what is the most loving thing I can do now for me? Because that's what's good for the others. In other words, if you have to release someone, or if you have to open your heart to someone or release someone here in the love life, so be it. You grant that permission to happen. It's very, very liberating. What happens is, so effectively what's happening here, when you mess up and you take your eyes off what's actually happening and you think it all happens on autopilot, when you mess up, you get a very sharp message that you messed up. It feels like rejection or feels like no. And that rejection, you can only blame yourself. However, when you do come from a much more highly evolved perspective and you see that the energy of surrender can actually work for you in the long run, you treat it as an evolutionary move, then you bring higher levels of truth and understanding to you that you might have never had before. The Queen of Swords here is totally non-judgmental in her ways, male or female, forget her gender. It's all about truth, the truth literally sets you free. So anything that is untruthful, anything that is sneaky, underhanded, or self-defeating, or below you, or not to do with self-respect, it's going to be exposed. So the best option is to do the most respectful and self-respectful decisions you can, and that just brings the goodness to you, the truth to you. The truth sets you free. Consequences, well, let's see, momentum. To me, my feeling is that this is a double-edged sword here coming into expression, where the Seven of Cups is an indication that as you live through this cycle, this period, these eclipses could be very disorienting for you. All the good stuff that's happening and all the destabilizing stuff that's happening in home and love, things like that. It could be really like a total, utter head spinner to the point where it's disorienting for you. So you have to be aware of that. So in other words, it's just literally like driving on black ice. Like when you think everything's fine and because you just, you're not aware, or you take your eyes off the road and you wig out, whoa, you get into this very, very trippy, disoriented condition where you totally lose it. So the other aspect of the Seven of Cups here is that when you do tune into the good stuff and you start to see that there's a lot more going on than just three-dimensional reality. There's this whole massive like movie type experience that you're living out through the eclipses. Sorry, this is taking a long time, Libra, because I know you're going to be very stressed in 2019. I just want to give you a heads up. So what can happen is when you do zone in, you get it right, it allows you to tap into your dreams in ways that you've never done or had the chance to before. But it's probably happening in a way that you would never have planned or wished or brought upon yourself. Okay? But this is how we evolve. This is how we grow. Okay, I'll stop now. Thank you so much, Libra. I hope you got some kind of sense out of this. Watch for your sun, moon, and rising, and thank you for visiting Tarot Illumination. It's a pleasure to do this for you. Bye-bye.